Okay, so I'm joined with my good pal Isaac, who I really appreciate how you handled that. I do want to say I feel also that you're a little frustrated with my coverage tonight, which is fair. I had intentions of going into my live stream, and you're like, Max, let's talk about this privately. Let's talk it out instead of on a panel. And I really appreciate how you handled that, man, even though you disagreed slightly with my take tonight and intentions and perception of how live streams could go. I'll be honest, I'm keeping the live stream up. I don't really think I did anything wrong, but I would like to clarify some things in my intentions with this stream. Intentions do not always play out the way you think they will on live streams. My
Yeah,
intention was with the coverage tonight not to condemn James Gunn. In a lot of people's eyes, and I'm not saying they're correct, but there are a lot of people out there, and they maybe have the bias of the Snyderverse and the air cut or whatever, and they may have the biases as James Gunn's not containing what we want, so we're overly aggressive on associations James Gunn's had in his tweets and parties he's been to. But from that, there has, as far as we know, there has been no credible actual accusations of behavior from James Gunn towards anyone else. No one has accused that. It's just probably guilt by association and edgy humor. I will stress that. And I, in my heart, do not believe James Gunn has done anything illegal. So that is different from the accusations of Jared Leto, which I do have some small updates that does not clear Jared Leto, but you should at least consider what's happened with the sources of these accusations and if anything has gone further with them. As far as I know, and I'll do another update, I don't see that beyond the initial accusation that it's been pursued any further. And the only thing I was trying to stress in the live stream, which I absolutely failed at, is that we should slow down if we're so quick to defend James Gunn, which is not exactly the same situation. It's a different situation, but it's still accusations coming from the public, that we should keep that same energy towards everyone. Ezra, Jared, and I personally want to make it my goal to take these things more seriously because I failed in my Ezra Miller coverage. Like, I also jumped on the bandwagon, and so far, it seems like Ezra's got the help they needed, and hopefully things have changed with Ezra. Do you think that's a fair statement, Isaac? Like, so far, from what we've seen, Ezra seems to be getting help they need, and the initial accusations of behavior with of grooming um have either been dismissed or not pursued further. So hopefully there that's over as far as we know, right?
yeah. I mean, with the Ezra stuff, most of it's things that you can redeem yourself from.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I mean, it doesn't seem like it is, but if the grooming stuff is true, then that would be a completely different conversation. But if let's just go with the assumption that that's not true and everything else did happen, I would still be like, hey, you know what? As long as you recover, as long as you know what you did
Mm-hmm.
was bad, you do your time in court, whatever. As long as that, I'm all right with Ezra.
Yeah, and I at one point said I don't care. I just don't want Ezra associated because it's bad for the brand. But that was me being invested in my love of comic book heroes over um an employee, and I think I may have overstepped a little bit there, and that's why I'm trying to be more careful here. Again, I will state I do not believe James Gunn did anything. I don't think it's exact parallel of what the people are accusing James Gunn of Jared Leto. I just want to try to direct the energy of, you know, wait till all the things come out and don't condemn people unless we absolutely know for sure. And if Jared Leto is found guilty of some of these things, absolutely, I will not support Jared Leto anymore. And I say that with an honest heart. I will not go see Jared Leto movies if some of these actually our charges are met and he's found guilty, I will not support Jared Leto. And I don't know. What do you think on that,
Is that why
Isaac?
you boycotted Morbius?
No.
I'm
I
just kidding.
really liked Morbius the first half. I don't think it was a bad movie
We heard it
either.
here
I
first. He really liked it. Ignore everything
no
else he said after.
the first half is very good, and part of the reason this came about, this specific topic, is I was so hype about Tron 3, and then
Hmm.
people do feel there's like an open secret with Jared that he is this. So let's get to we have to go to the source. Now I did criticize Gunn because he also alluded in, like Devin said on the stream, gave some weight to the accusations when he also reiterated some, making a slight joke, which I think is uncool unless he knows absolutely for sure. That's why I said don't throw stones first, because Jared or Gunn should know how fast stuff spreads on the internet because of what happened to him, you know? So that's why I said it was kind of uncool for Gunn, even though I still like Gunn, to suggest anything unless he absolutely knows for sure that Jared has had some misconduct and has done some illegal behavior. So that's where I said, that's where I criticized Gunn the um, on the stream. So let me bring that up here first, and then there's an accusation in there which I do not have an update on. I will have to on that particular one, but I do have something to say on the other ones.
I will
Okay,
say it
so
does seem like Jared's a pain in the ass on set.
oh yeah. He seems like an
Like
asshole.
with Morbius,
Yes.
I'm sorry if I'm a director and I see some guy pretending to be crippled, like I just be like, oh, God, come on, man, like really, like we
Mm-hmm.
know you're being paid to act, but you're not being paid to act stupid, you know?
Mm-hmm. Now this also can be somewhat of a joke too that James Gunn is saying. He
Oh,
starts
this
at
is an
18 on
obvious
it.
joke.
Yeah, he said starts at
But I
18
think
on the
there's
internet.
almost like a bit of like that is his belief in a way,
Yes, it
you
seems
know?
like sometimes there's some truth in humor. So even though you might not agree what Dylan Sproul said here, um, that so far, which I don't like either, but it's not illegal, that you slid into DMs of every female model aged 18 to 25, that is not, even though people don't like that, that's not necessarily illegal. I'm not defending that. I'm just saying, show me I don't want to see something that's illegal. But that's another thing people quote from is this Dylan Sprouse. And then James Gunn weighs that in, and I think that's kind of uncool unless he knows for sure. But it might also be that we do think there's more there, but he might just be doing a joke. I don't know. I agree with you though, Isaac. I think there's more than just the joke. I think he's alluding to more, and he is very close with Margot Robbie, and who knows what Margot told him. He may have very valid reasons based on his interactions with the talent that he respects now.
Wait,
You
was
know,
he close with Margot before Suicide Squad?
um, I don't
Because
know.
I think that started filming at least in 2019. So maybe my assumption is it's like in Hollywood, like rumors spread around, and sometimes like rumors will stay within Hollywood. I feel like maybe if James Gunn does believe this, it's probably based on like people around him telling him, you know?
Mhm. This is from May 16th of 2018. Were they
Whoa.
filming the
I think
Suicide Squad by then?
they were filming in 2019.
But he may have
But
had meetings with
yeah,
Margot, so it's
yeah.
possible he already knew Margot or was getting ready by May 2018. He may have been getting a crew ready for the Suicide Squad, so he may have had um, some knowledge from the cast there. Okay, so no, here is the one I do not have an update on. I'll have to go on later on. I will have to um, go and track down the original tweet, and I also don't want to. We don't want to victim shame or go hardcore at someone coming forward either. Is where you have to be sensitive to these topics,
I will
But
say Dylan's tweet there was like, I don't like, we live in this weird time where like, I know it's like weird if you date an 18-year-old, depending on like if you're 30-ish,
But it's not
but
illegal.
yeah, like to me, it's like if something isn't illegal, yes, there should be conversations. But if you are willing to say that 18 is weird, then now the conversation isn't whether or not you should with an 18-year-old. Now the question is, should they raise the age of consent? And
Mhm.
to me, I just don't like when people constantly like Brad. You know who Brad Davis is? He's like a Marvel guy that goes to like Marvel movies.
Okay. No, I don't. No, but
Yeah,
okay,
so
go
there was
ahead.
like an allegation where he was like messaging an 18-year-old girl, and a lot of people were like calling him a P word. But the
Mhm.
thing is, if you genuinely do want to have a real honest conversation about that, the conversation shouldn't be what he was doing was bad. The conversation should be, do you want the age of consent to be raised? Why is that? Like me, I'm a big proponent in raising it to 21. Not saying that
Okay.
you're like to use an example, if Max was to date an 18-year-old, I wouldn't call him a P word. I would find it a little weird and immature. But if we do honestly want that conversation, that's the thing that should be
Well, yeah,
talked about.
I
You know?
actually think the good points, Isaac. Great points. I think in nowadays we have to just go by what the law says because there's so many.
Yeah.
For the law is right now, he's not breaking any laws,
Hmm.
and to be honest, a lot of Hollywood men do this. I'm not saying when you go below the 18, that is where it's
Yeah.
illegal, and we're gonna have an issue. But as far as you might not like it, but until someone's done something illegal. Now, this is the one I think that a lot of people cite. What the hell? Claire? What does that say?
Am I
Okay.
allowed to say that word on YouTube?
Well, you can, I mean, you could see it. I don't know.
Can I just say
When I,
weenus? You know,
yeah.
rhymes. There we go.
So she is saying when I was 14, Jared Leto asked my friend, also 14, to come up to his hotel room in a weird face. Now, that seems, I don't like that. Not cool. Um, What's is there context that would make it better? He asked us for the come up to the hotel room to sign a autograph. I don't know. That doesn't seem like it. If he's asking for someone to come up to a hotel room, it seems like, you know, it might be for something, right? That's what we would go for. I don't have any update on this. And there has been a lot of talk about how he interacts with his fans. From what it seems to me, regardless if he's doing something or not, it seems like he gets very close to some of his fans, which are a lot of younger people.
Hmm.
So you have to be careful with that. You do have to be careful with that. And if I was his friend or if I was an associate of Jared, I'm like, what are you doing, man? That's not. But this in itself is still not saying anything illegal happened. Very sus, though, right? Isaac, very
Yeah,
sus.
I think the big issue is that it's always hard to tell what is truth and what is false,
Yeah.
because realistically, I could go on Twitter and just make up like
Yes.
a lot. Like I could put a
And
picture
I'm
of a
not
random
saying,
guy and be like,
yeah,
"This is
and I'm not
Max's
saying
face,"
that's what
you know?
happened here. We don't want to be because people, especially the anti-SJWs, like to say false flags all the time. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you should take this very seriously. But what is she actually
Yeah.
saying?
The,
She is,
the
and
the
this is
issue with that is
yes,
there's people that are either full on believe every woman, and then there's the people you just referenced that are anti all women. And the thing is, people don't actually want to meet a middle ground, because at
okay.
the end of the day, we don't know whether it's true or false. So really, what you should do is take it serious, take everything you got, and try to come up with some way. But ultimately, we don't know what is true. You know,
Mhm.
that's what I tell everyone about this. Like with Jared Leto, there isn't like fundamental proof to prove that he's done these things,
Just a lot of
right?
talk, and a lot of the talk comes mostly from. Now, this is my opinion. Most of the talk that I hear about Jared Leto is from the Suicide Squad set, which he was really weird, but didn't do anything illegal, just really gross stuff. And then the most other referenced ish, like uh, Devin sent me two articles that both link to this young girl
Mhm.
from the source of it, and Dylan Sprouse and James Gunn pop in most of the source stuff. Most. So she doesn't really clarify. She just says she was asked to come up to his hotel room. Doesn't say for what. I'm assuming when she says that, I'm not saying she's lying. I'm not suggesting at all. This is someone on Twitter, though, and you have to be realistic about that. Dylan Sprouse says 18 to 25. That's not illegal. There's a similar vibe that people do for the King of the World, Titanic. What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wait,
People
is
have
his like actual minors, or are they just young, like 18, 19?
young.
Oh, okay.
People
Then I
don't
don't really
like
care
that either.
much.
No, but people don't like that either about Leonardo DiCaprio. He's got a lot of criticism because they say he gets rid of them at 23 and then goes back to the younger ones again, 18 to 23.
With him, I think there's a potential he could be grooming women, but the thing is, that's very difficult to prove, realistically.
Okay.
But yeah.
So these are where I think this is where the most source is from this specific tweet, which if I can find an update on that, I will, but I don't want to track this woman down really, but I'll see if there's any update on it. And the James Gunn and Dylan Sprouse. Okay, so we covered that. Now, Caden, which he did what I asked, I appreciate it. He sent me other stuff that I hadn't heard yet. And this is what I didn't hear before the stream. This is actually really bad accusation. And I'll try to be careful with my words here. So women have accused him of assault. And now it's from a groupie, and don't read anything into that. Now famous Tumblr post is too explicit to quote at length, but the gist of it is what the victim wrote at the end. I felt as though I was being, and not even play. In his mind, it seemed as he thought he was. So she was saying an experience that was very aggressive that she felt was not. And I am sorry. I think I should have done like a trigger warning on this specific topic. I apologize at the beginning of the stream. So yeah, if you want to check out on this video, I understand. But that's the accusation. Now, I heard the other stuff, and I heard the sex cult, which I researched before in the past, which he had a video where he and his fans are laughing and say, yeah, we lead into that. We think it's funny. That's why we wear all kinds of robes and do silly,
I mean, that clip also could be similar to what Gunn did in his tweet with Jared, where it could be you're joking, but there's also like a truth in it. Not saying it is, but like that could be a possibility.
So now this, and then there was another one that says when she was 15, and I take that very seriously. And I did not see. All I saw before my live stream today was something similar to the initial texting younger people, messaging them, but nothing. I hadn't actually heard this part, and I'll be real. That's an L on me. I did not know these, but what you need to know, there is an update. It's a small update, and take it for what you will. It doesn't mean it's less credible, but here we go. I'm going to bring up the update because the hyperlink, the source of these accusations, here's the first one that gave the accusations of, the R word. Page not found. It's off. Now, this was also a while ago. Who knows why it was taken down? There could be many reasons taken down, and does not mean that she wasn't telling the truth, right?
Wait, is this like this girl's website, or was it where you originally found something?
Tumblr page that was linked in the original article.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Never mind.
That where the accusation was originally made. This is where the accusation was originally made. It's not there. It's something else now. It's done. That could mean many things. It could just mean that the time of the internet, it's so much time has gone by. No one renewed the Tumblr page. They made it something different. They didn't want it on their page anymore. It could mean that if he does have representation, Jared Leto, and they may have reached out, settled it, or taken it down, or whatever. We don't know. That doesn't mean it's not credible, but if there's no forward momentum on it and the accusations removed from there, I think you should at least think about that. That's all I'm saying, right? Is that fair?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's really difficult with these kinds of
Yeah.
scenarios
Yeah.
because most of it is just you're kind of guessing,
Yeah, it's
you know?
hearsay and allegations, accusations. I still think you should take them seriously, but
Hmm.
considering the accusations in the article, and I will link all these articles if you want to catch them out in the description below if you want to do your own research. Um, if it was that type of accusation, I would hope that it would have been pursued further. But so far, all we could say is the page is not found there anymore. Take that for what you will. It's gone. The next accusation where they mentioned they were 15. Um, I'll bring that up as well. Um, this is also, I might have mixed up the one that was 15 and the original one that said the R word, but they're both not found. Okay.
Oh,
Same scenario. The original accusation is not there on the internet anymore. Take that from what you will, read into what you will. Doesn't mean they weren't being truthful. It's just saying these were in the past. That doesn't, length of time does not justify bad behavior. It's no longer there. We can't research the original accusation anymore, except for articles that source it. Unless there's something I've missed, unless there's another accusation I've missed. So that is also gone. The one that still is there from the article was from a stripper at a strip club, and that is still up if you want to read that one. But that's the only one that's still there. Let me bring this up. So, grabbed her neck while she gave his brother a lap dance. I don't like that. That's aggressive. You shouldn't be even touching the talent at these strip clubs. And we definitely want uh adult performers to be safe, right? So I
yeah.
don't like that.
I actually had no idea about this one.
Yeah, yeah. So this is from 2014. Nothing else has come from it. Doesn't mean it's not valid. That's not cool. Um, that's actually kind of similar to the Ezra thing, choking. I don't know. I don't know. Does not sound good. That's all I have right now. That's all I have right now. And then he should be very careful about how he engages with his younger fan base because I'm assuming 30 Seconds to Mars does have a lot of young fans, you know.
I don't
But
know what that is.
that's his band.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, he's very.
I knew he
Oh,
was in a band, but I didn't know what it was
oh
called.
man, early 2000s Jared Leto. He was more popular for his band than
Yeah, I
his
don't know anything
acting.
about Jared outside. I didn't really
Yeah.
know who Jared was until Suicide Squad, I think, 2016's.
Oh yeah, Hot Topic. You know the Hot Topic store.
Yeah, where all the emo
You
girls are at.
Yeah, all the emo girls love 30 Seconds to Mars back in the early 2000s at Hot Topic. They played 30 Seconds to Mars all there.
So were you like 50 years old at the time? Just
No, I'm
kidding.
not even 50 yet. So I did my I will cover this again if there's anything else to cover. I felt I needed to. I apologize if people perceived that I was trying to condemn James Gunn for his Twitter activity or the parties that he was at, which I think were weird, but I do not think he did anything. I think there were other people at the party he's associated with that actually have been convicted of stuff, but we do not do guilt by association here. And all I was trying to stress, which I failed at, is try not to throw Jared under the bus yet. If something moves forward or there's an update and he is guilty of what he's accused of, I will not support him anymore. But I do want to be more careful based on the past and my own failed coverage of Ezra Miller. And I don't think Ezra Miller is innocent, but like Isaac said, I like what Isaac said. I don't think anything he's done is irredeemable, and I hope
Yeah.
the best for Ezra in the future. And that's not the reason I'm not seeing the Flash. It's not Ezra Miller. It's just that I'm not convinced yet. Maybe with the trailer at the Super Bowl. So, any
What if
closing?
like the trailer shows Zack Snyder like come out of a portal and he's in the movie? But that convince you to
I don't.
watch it,
Even if I saw that in a trailer, I wouldn't trust Warner Brothers.
even if it's Zack Snyder
Not
himself.
because listen, because we still got Henry Cavill and Black Adam, but he's no longer in it. So no, I don't trust Warner Brothers.
I mean, yeah, but like with Cavill, it's like that was expected, like for him to show up. But like Zack Snyder himself showing up, like that would like break
Mhm.
everyone's mind. Like the bit to even think that was possible.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you helping me with this topic. It is a hard topic. I don't really like to cover this type of stuff. Maybe I did a misstep and I shouldn't cover this stuff at all because I did feel a little uncomfortable, a little bit. I failed in my intentions of my stream, but I leave up my mistakes on YouTube. Ask Isaac; he has a whole out of context series he did. I leave all my mistakes up. Pick at them what you want. But I think it helped a little bit to go through some of the accusations so we at least know all of them. I knew some of them. And I wasn't dismissing them either. They haven't gone any further. Doesn't mean they're not true. But unfortunately, the world we live in right now, we have to be careful. And as far as I could tell now, I will still be supporting Jared unless he's found guilty of something and more accusations. If more accusations come to light, these are also accusations that were from years ago too. Is the other thing I was trying to make a parallel of. Not that that doesn't minimalize the accusation, right? It's just that these were years ago, and I know people think I'm naive to think Disney would vet Jared if they're going to hire him for a project. For I think most companies nowadays have to vet their employees. After these last few years in Hollywood, don't you think, Isaac? That
Yeah,
doesn't mean they
there's a lot.
are, but I would hope they would. And I would think that they would probably research these accusations too, is my assumption. I would assume since I don't think people that hire Jared are oblivious to these. I don't see that they've gone anywhere so far.
I'm
Is
just
my
surprised
final.
they even are making a Tron 3. Like that came to me as a
Oh, thanks a lot.
surprise.
I'm really excited by it. And Jared Leto is by no means my favorite actor either.
He's your favorite? Oh, we heard
No,
it here
no, no,
first,
no,
folks.
no. He's not my favorite actor at
Wow,
all.
you're more
I
phobic.
like him a few things. I liked him as the Joker. I didn't think he was amazing, but I wanted to see his performance. I wanted to see the full performance. I really support the haircut.
I even liked him even
Um,
in the Suicide Squad. He's not my favorite, but like I still liked him. I just
mm,
didn't like the tattoos. That's like the only thing I didn't like.
yeah, I actually liked his character in Morbius.
Let's
I just want to
go.
but this also could come up if they ever try to make a Morbius too,
Wait,
Isaac.
have you seen House of Gucci?
No.
Oh, you should search up Jared Leto clips. They're funny. He's like the
Oh.
stereotypical Italian. That's how people wanted
Eh,
Mario to sound like.
and the other thing I do stand by my statement about James Gunn though. I think it's not cool to throw stones at Jared when people go at him on Twitter calling him things all the time as well, unless he really has a foundation to base that joke on, you know? You know what I
Eh,
mean?
not really.
The, with
Like
with
to me,
with,
when
with
it comes to jokes, especially when that one wasn't anything, to
mm,
me, as long as you're not harming anyone else purposely, as
yeah,
long as you're not doing that, I'm fine with the joke. Like
okay.
even me, like I jokingly put in your comments, I jokingly said Jared Epstein, you know, because I just heard the
Well,
island
and
stuff.
let's be honest. Regardless if I like people or not, the actresses, or people on this earth, I don't want anyone to be guilty of anything because that means there was a victim. Is my final statement. So
Yeah,
I don't want any of these stories to be true because that means someone was hurt. That's my final statement on it. So I'm not defending bad behavior. I hope it's not true, and I will treat accusations seriously. I respect people coming forward that feel that they are victims, and I don't want any of the accusations to be true, because that means someone was hurt. And that's my final statement. And as far as I know now, I will be supporting selectively Jared Leto projects, but I don't see everything he's done. But if Tron 3 happens, I'm going to see that for sure. And Isaac, I don't know. Do you still feel safe enough to support Jared if Morbin 2 happens?
Oh
Morbius
yeah,
2?
I'm going for Morbius too.
Mhm.
You know, because again, like with Jared, it's like I just don't know. Like if it was to come out that what he did, all the things he did happen,
Mhm.
even then I maybe would still watch the movie because I would know he still got paid already. So like, who cares?
Mhm.
I still think he's an evil piece of doo doo,
Yeah.
but like, it's like he already got. It's kind of like even if Ezra, like even when I was in my I hate Ezra phase, even then I was like, well, Ezra already got paid a long time ago, so it's not gonna take away,
Mhm.
my anticipation for the movie. You know.
Well, thank you for the help with this topic. Go support Isaac and the multiverse of movies. I'll link his channel in the description. And we're going to head out because honestly, after the disastrous live stream and then this clarification video and research, I'm tired of talking about it already. But if you watch this far, tell us your thoughts in the comment section below. Let us know. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.